So you're thinking about moving to Henderson in Las Vegas, Nevada? In this video, I'm going to show you the pros and the cons, the good and the bad of moving to Las Vegas. So let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about the Henderson and Las Vegas market, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that bell for notifications below, and you'll be the first to know when things change here in Henderson and Las Vegas. Hi, I'm Anthony, and every day my team and I get phone calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make their move to Henderson and Las Vegas, and we absolutely love it. If you're looking to move in the next 9 to 90 days, go ahead and shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, and we'd be more than happy to make your move smooth here to Henderson. As I said today, we're going to go through the pros and the cons of living here in Henderson, Las Vegas. So let's start with pro number one, and that is that Henderson is huge. It is a big part of the Las Vegas area. Henderson is its own city and has been since 1953. And it started out as a city that was quite geographically distant from the center of Las Vegas. Now, the city of Las Vegas is tiny. The city of Henderson is very big. The whole Clark County area encompasses Henderson, Las Vegas, the city, as well as the unincorporated parts of Las Vegas. Now, that entire area makes up about 28 miles north to south by about 28 miles east to west. So Henderson takes up a huge third of that total square footage and total mileage there. It is a gigantic place. Now, Henderson started out in 1953, like I said, as this tiny little city. And there's still a lot of activity going on in that little city. But over the years, it's grown, and it's grown to the west, and then it grew south, and then it continues to grow west. So there's really three distinct parts of Henderson. There's historic or old Henderson, which is that little area where we have the historic center of Henderson that was started in 1953. Then we have in about the early 1990s, late 1980s, started growing out Middle Henderson. So Middle Henderson, like I said, started in in the late 80s, early 90s, and grew to the west and to the south, the big part of that geography. As the population increased, it continued to grow, and now we have what we call New Henderson. It starts where about Green Valley Ranch Casino is and keeps moving through what is now Inspirada. That is the farthest development and the newest development in Henderson. So, why is that important? Because it is so big and there are so many parts to its development, there are homes in every price range that you could look for, and fantastic homes in every price range, starting with condos at about $100,000 all the way up to your $25 million mansion. Henderson has it for you. Henderson is a fantastic place to find exactly what you're looking for, and we can go ahead and help you with that. So let's talk about our second pro. The second pro goes ahead and tandems with that bigness. There is shopping centers and shopping districts in every one of the three parts of Henderson. So Old Henderson has not only its historic downtown, which has great shops, a lot of really vintage and antique-y type things, and just a little quirky and eclectic areas. It's a great place to go and spend a weekend afternoon. You can walk up and down the Water Street district and see some great things. It's also doing a lot of revitalization. If you're looking for a great place to go and take a look at that is a lot of fun, go down to Water Street District. It is a ton of fun. In fact, if you'll look at one of my other videos, I go to one of my favorite Mexican restaurants right there. It's Juan's Flaming Fajitas. Fantastic place to go. But that being said, when you went to Middle Henderson and the developments from the late 80s on, you see that we built one of the largest malls in all of Southern Nevada. The Sunset Galleria is there, and it is huge. And it's your prototypical mall. It has all the things that you would be looking for in a mall. All your big stores, the great food court. It's just your normal mall, and it's another great place to go and spend an afternoon going around and doing a little shopping. It's a fun place to go. Not only that, but along the road, Sunset. Sunset is the big road there. You'll find Sunset Station, which was the first big local station casino that services the middle part of Henderson was built. Along the road, Sunset, you're gonna find all of your big box stores, your Targets, your Costco, Ross's, all the grocery shopping, Best Buy, all of those types of things. So shopping is well developed along that way. Now, when you got into New Henderson, you actually have two different shopping areas. There's the Eastern corridor, which is a street. It's called Eastern. And along that is where, when they started developing New Henderson, that's where all the shopping went. Again, you're going to find all your big stores. You're going to find your Sam's Club, Home Depot, your Lowe's, all the big box stores. So all the way from the 215 up to the top where Anthem starts, on Eastern, you're gonna find a ton of restaurants, a ton of shopping, and a ton of everything to do. Now, where they're building now, in the newest developments in Henderson, which is Inspirada, is they're developing even more shopping. For a long time there wasn't anything out there. Now they're developing a mall, an outdoor mall there, that's going to rival downtown Summerlin. So if you're on the west side of town, you have downtown Summerlin. Now they're building the east side version over in Inspirada, and it is supposed to be fantastic with all the latest and greatest retailers, shopping, dining experiences, movie theaters, all of the things that you could look for in a downtown entertainment place. Now, in addition to that, there is also built out in what saddles between New Henderson and Mid Henderson is Green Valley Ranch Resort. Now, Green Valley Ranch Resort is owned by the Station Casinos, which operate most of the big local casinos. But Green Valley Ranch Resort also caters to a lot of tourists. It's one of their upscale properties, similar to how in Summerlin they have Red Rock Casino. So again, you're kind of mirroring on one side of the city, the same that you're mirroring on the other side, and that's where all the big development is going on. Green Valley Ranch has attached to it a place called the District. Now the District has a ton of shopping, a ton of smaller retailers. They do have an REI, they do have a couple other big retailers like an Anthropology, but for the most part they're smaller retailers with a lot of dining experiences. There's a Cheesecake Factory, a Lucille's barbecue. There's all the good places that you like to go eat. A Settabello's. Settabello's is fantastic if you want a wood-fired pizza. Fantastic. But it's just a fun little place to go. Now, also at the end where Inspirada is, you have the M Resort and Casino. Now, the M services that Inspirada area. It also services a lot of the tourists. It is on technically the Strip, being Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's far away from the actual Strip as you would think of it. So it's more of a locals future growth place. What is cool about it is it's the closest casino to the Raiders training facility. So you'll find the Raiders Grill there, which is a fun place to go and check out a game if you're not going to Allegiant Stadium to actually watch it in person. It's there's a lot of tie-ins with the Raiders in the M Casino, and it's just a fun place to go. So let's move on to our next pro. And our next pro is the pro that makes Las Vegas and Nevada in general just a fantastic place to live. Zero state income taxes. That means you move here, you make the same money you were making in California, New York, Illinois, or wherever you're coming from, and you get a huge pay raise. For example, in California, where the top income tax rate is 14% for state income taxes, here it's zero. Meaning you get that 14% back to put in your pocket instead of putting in the government's pocket. I think it is one of the major reasons to move here, and why so many people from these high tax states, the New Yorks, the Californias, the Illinois, are moving here and make this a destination, beyond it being, you know, the entertainment capital of the world. So zero state income taxes, obviously one of the top reasons, if not the top reason, to move here. Let's move on to our next pro. Now, our next pro is Forbes magazine has ranked Henderson as the second safest city in the United States. Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get better than that.
You can't find anything better around here as far as a safe neighborhood environment than Henderson. People, when they're on the Strip, it's a very different environment than living out in the suburbs, a Henderson, a Summerlin, or any of the other great suburbs here in Las Vegas. The Strip is a microcosm of life, and because we have 40 million tourists a year coming into Las Vegas to spend time on those 3 miles of the Strip, you get a lot of activity that outside of the Strip, you don't want to extrapolate those thoughts to the rest of the community. Henderson, like I said, has their own police department. They take things very seriously, and for that reason, Forbes ranked them number 2 safest city in America. Next pro. Our next pro, and let's talk about the Strip. You are very close to the Strip, just as you are from pretty much anywhere in Las Vegas, but you're far enough away where you're not inundated by it. You have to want to go to the Strip. You have friends in town and they want to go to the Strip, no problem. It's a 15-20 minute drive away, very easy to get through from the side streets or one of the freeways. I would suggest the side street. If you're living in Henderson, probably go up Sunset or Russell to get there. Depending on where you are in Henderson, it's an easy way of getting there. Otherwise, you can go ahead and wrap around the 215 and get on the 15 and make your way there as well. But super easy to get to the Strip, super easy to entertain your friends and out-of-towners that come in to visit you, because that is one of the things that they're going to want to do. Not only that, but look, the Strip has so much to offer for tourists and residents alike. If you want a great date night, if you want to go hang out and be part of the action, you got obviously the clubs, the casinos, the restaurants. The restaurants are insane. Some of the best in the world right there on that 3 miles, as well as there's so many hidden gems throughout the Las Vegas Valley, including Henderson in particular. Henderson has some great culinary spots to go to, and if you're a foodie, you will absolutely love living in the entire Las Vegas area, whether it's Henderson, Summerlin, or anywhere else. Let's move on to our next pro. Now, the next pro is your proximity to outdoor recreation. Look, Henderson has over 53 tennis courts, 180 miles of walking and biking trails. You are super close to not only Red Rock Canyon, you're also very close to Lake Mead. So if you want to go boating or do any of the lake life, you're very close. In fact, that's about as close as you can get, with the exception of living by Lake Mead. Great for a great summer day to go out boating, to go out to the marinas, including Lake Las Vegas, which is actually part of Henderson. It's within the city of Henderson. They developed a lake right next to Lake Mead with a lot of tourists and shopping and dining, as well as residential area right there around there. So you have your lake within the lake area, and that's Lake Las Vegas within Henderson. Fantastic place. Some dynamic homes there, but just a cool little place to check out. You can go spend the weekend there. You can kayak, you can do paddle boarding, you can do all of those activities right there as well. So a fantastic place to be. So all in all, Henderson has so many pros going for it that it is just one of the best places if you're coming to the Las Vegas area to go ahead and take a look at for living. But let's talk about a couple of the cons of Henderson. Now, the first and primary con of living in Henderson or anywhere in the Las Vegas area is the extremes in weather. Our summers are hot. Last year, we got up to 117 degrees, and don't let them tell you that it's a dry heat, it's still hot. That being said, we have some fantastic springs and falls that rival anywhere in California or any of the other locations that you might be coming from. It's a beautiful place to be, especially in spring and fall. In summer, you adjust. You spend some more time indoors. You do more fun recreation like boating outdoors where it's a little bit cooler. You can jaunt up to Mount Charleston. Mount Charleston, which is less than a 45-minute drive from Henderson, is a fantastic mountain. During the winter, it has skiing, but during the summer, the trails and hikes there are fabulous. Mary Jane Falls is one of my favorite. It's a nice, good hike, but it is beautiful. The best part about it, rarely does it get over 80 degrees in Mount Charleston over the summer. So if you want to escape the heat, there's lots of places to go. You're not stuck just in your house in the air conditioning. This place is built to get along and work well with our hot summers. Close enough to outdoor recreation where you're gonna be just fine in those couple of months of hot heat. Now we also have a colder winter. It is a desert, so our winters actually do get pretty chilly. We even, once every 2 or 3 years or so, get a little snowstorm here in the Las Vegas area in Henderson. In fact, Henderson, some parts of it are quite a bit above the Las Vegas Valley floor. So in those spots, those are some of the very first to get a snowstorm, or we call it a snowstorm. If you were from New York, you'd probably just laugh at that. But there is snow, it does stick, and it does stay a couple days. It's just a lot of fun because it is so different from what you're used to seeing on an everyday. The next con is that living in Henderson is actually a little bit more expensive than living in the rest of Las Vegas in general. Now there's a couple reasons for that. The price of the homes are a little bit higher. Well, it's because it is such a good place to live that a lot of people want to live there. So just naturally supply and demand is going to drive those prices up a little bit. So on a national average, they look at an income of 100. That's your baseline. The Las Vegas Valley in general has income of 103 compared to the national average of 100. So just a little bit more expensive, but not much in the entire Las Vegas Valley. But Henderson has a cost of living index of 117. Again, a little bit higher, not too exorbitant. You're getting a lot for that extra money. You are getting the second safest city in America. You are getting close to the Las Vegas Strip where there's entertainment, dining, and just fun galore. You're getting access to the entire Las Vegas Valley. There are even great schools up in Henderson if schooling is important to you. And in fact, if you go into some of the newer developments, they're building a lot more new schools. If schooling is important to you, you need to do your research. You need to look at the ratings of the schools, and there's a couple places I can go ahead and show you where to go and find that information. But if the public schools are all run by one district, the CCSD, the Clark County School District. So just be aware of that. Other than those couple cons, well, I will tell you, the other con is depending on where you live, there is sometimes traffic. It's not the 101 during rush hour if you're in California. It's not the city in rush hour if you're from New York. It's a manageable. Instead of 10 minutes to get to a place, it's going to take you 15. Not too bad. And for the trade-offs, it's a great trade-off. Look, the pros significantly outweigh the cons. I think you would absolutely love it here. And if you think that Henderson could be the spot for you, I encourage you, go ahead and give me a call, drop us a text, send us an email, and I will make sure that your move here goes fantastically smooth and we find the house that you are gonna love here as well. Until the next video, I look forward to hearing from you, and then we'll see you on the next one. Take care.